Hello and welcome to another episode of KKP Rhapsody, where we recap the best news and gaming highlights of the week. We've got an awesome slew of stories and reveals for you, since it's a pretty packed week or so. Starting with the Cyberpunk 2077 reveal, which is about... Okay, that's fine. But we've got a PlayStation 5 reveal featuring a ton of exclusive title reveals and that juicy PS5 physical showcase full of detailed specs. Yikes, alright. Guess real-world events can really take a toll on this hobby we call escapism. But that's fine. Companies are making the right call when it comes to digital events. So instead, let's talk about that new Borderlands 3 Guardian takedown and dish out some tips on how to tackle this brand new raid. Oh, come on! So what do we have for news? Let's see. Got some gems here. As usual, subscribe to us for more videos like these. We post new ones every Wednesday and Friday. On with whatever we can scrap up for the show. Riot Games' very first multiplayer shooter, since they've been in the mobile game for so long, is finally out now. The game features 11 heroes to play as, a couple of maps, and a new Spike Rush mode to coincide with the regular attack/defend, plant the spike objective. If you are new to Valorant, just think of this shooter as a realistic style first-person shooter in the veins of Counter-Strike. Except you have hero powers that can make you jump super high, spot enemies via Hanzo soda arrows, set up walls of flame, and even throw Junkrat-style bombs that can propel you to higher ground. Is it good? So far, it is. Our own review states that Valorant has the right ingredients to make a great franchise that will redefine hero shooters. Eventually. It's too early to tell, as the game's aesthetics is kinda ordinary and the reliance of raw skills and restrictive shooter mechanics will turn off people so used to mainstream shooters like Call of Duty and Overwatch. Activision Blizzard is under fire from some of its own shareholders who argue that CEO Bobby Kotick is receiving too much of a compensation. According to a games industry biz report, two proxy advisory service firms suggest that the company's shareholders vote against a proposal to remunerate Kotick in line with previous years. So how much does Bobby Kotick get paid? He receives close to $100 million each year. Did I read this right? $100 million each year? Jesus, a fucking $100 million. Fuck's sake. Nintendo CEO earns close to $10 million yearly. And as extra icing on this shit news cake, Activision Blizzard employees typically earn less than 1/3 of 1% of the CEO's earnings. Holy fuck, just think how many games can be made and happily compensated game developers and programmers can be generated with just that yearly salary alone. Please sort your shit out, Activision Blizzard. Famitsu held a Granblue Fantasy Versus poll a while back. The results they received this week are pretty wild. When asked which characters they want to see added in Granblue Fantasy Versus, the top 5 are Sandalphon, Cagliostro, Vera, Sioux, and Siegfried. Seeing as Granblue Fantasy Versus will have new season passes coming in, it wouldn't be a huge surprise to see the top 10 character requests making their way to the game. The poll also revealed some new details, like Gran and Jita being the most picked fighters when fighting, and Fairy and La Diva being the toughest characters to fight against. The best music track, Butterfly Girl, The Same Blue Sky, and my personal favorite, Licked. As a Fairy player, I can relate. Games developer and publisher DoubleEleven recently opened its new Malaysian studio earlier this year. Headquartered in Middlesbrough in the northeast of England, they are best known for having co-developed or ported games like Rust, Crackdown 3, Code Simulator, and the recently released Minecraft Dungeons. DoubleEleven currently has multiple job vacancies for its Bangsar South Kuala Lumpur branch on its careers page, which you can check out right here. There's quite a number of positions to apply for, like producer, 3D artist, quality assurance, lead artist roles, and programmer. So if you're looking for a job, especially in these trying times, go check them out. We will need to cap off this episode with some perspective and op-ed bits. We are, after all, a video game content creation site that's not about churning out news like a mindless drone. You've noticed some video game companies on Twitter and Facebook showcasing their stances with the Black Lives Matter protests, right? Some of them are even going beyond the Call of Duty to give aid or even making a 2-hour statement like shutting down servers to their multi-million-dollar making titles. That's fine and all, but we just need to make some things clear. Once the dust settles, companies are still companies. They exist to sell you products. Loyalty gets consumers to buy their products, which leads to bottom lines being met. And what's the best way to do this? To act like a quote-unquote person or entity to pander to the current state of the world that generates minimal backlash, with the generic "we support your cause" messages in stylized form. Some of these companies who talk about Black Lives Matter, they have done some questionable, non-inclusive, non-consumer-friendly, and kinda discriminatory things in the past. So for them to show their support in hopes of making a lot of you forget about their stuff in the past, well, it kinda worked. But the internet never forgets. We shouldn't either. Go ahead and retweet their positive messages. Support them and the charity links they provide. Don't be a dick to them if they're postponing events or DLC. The right place, right time, right climate kind of deal, you know? But we urge all of you to be smart about this. Companies need good PR and marketing moves to earn loyalty among the sheep. Generally, they really don't care about you, just your wallet. They only care about what's convenient in order to get the most loyalty out of people. Long story short, just be aware. And that is it for our news recap bit for the week. Again, do subscribe to us for more awesome videos and op-eds like these. We do our weekly updates every Wednesday and Friday. Until then, that's the way the world pixelates.